Hello people, today we are going to learn how to cut our own hair, cut long layers into long hair. So I'll start by showing you the back of my hair. As you can see, I've got pretty long layers that have grown out. There's really no layers at this point, and it's really lost its shape. So what we're going to do is the front ponytail method. I do like to just dampen the hair a little bit. It doesn't need to be soaking wet, but if there's a little water through the ends, it'll make it a little easier to make our lines nice and clean. So once we get a little bit of water in there, we're going to comb all the hair forward. So flip your head over, comb forward, forward, forward. Way to do it without tearing and start on the bottom. I'm never that gentle on my own hair. And just keep going forward, 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 going right to the front of the forehead. I want to try to get this as smooth as possible and comb everything towards that unicorn point in the forehead. Just creating a nice little ponytail there. Get all those hairs up. That's a pretty nice little front ponytail. Got a little bit of loose ends there. And then once we get it right there, we're going to go ahead and tie that off. Once we've secured that, I'm going to go ahead and re-wet those ends a little bit more. And then I'm going to take it and we're going to do a side view here. I'm just combing it straight and smooth. Now you don't want to use some craft scissors. Try to get the nicest scissors you have. I do have a pair of professional scissors here. Now we're going to cut it at an angle. So you can see right now there's really no shape along that bottom. It's kind of a mess, and so the front piece is going to be your shortest layer. The back long pieces are your length. So if you want to leave all the length, you're going to go all the way to that back end and then angle up towards the head like that. So we're going to cut these long pieces off here. And I actually want a little bit more of layers in there. So let's take it like that. So here we go. We're just going to go. And once you've got the shape and your hands are parallel to the head and at the angle you want, we've already got a layer there, so that's perfect. Now let me get that one in there. Okay, so I've angled it out towards the longest piece, and I'm cutting in and taking all these pieces off. So then you can actually move your hands forward and just take that straight across there. Now these are going to be very long layers, because I'm actually going to do another cut today and probably end up with a blunt cut. And we take it out, flip it back up, and we'll comb it back out. Just comb it down. Kind of fluff it up. You can already see the layers now. So there's our shortest layer. Blends down through the end. You can see how that really cleaned it up. Took quite a bit off there of the layers, not so much off of the length because I kept that longer length on the end. So again, just kind of brushing it out. And let's fluff it up a little bit. So here's our front angle. You can see how that, we didn't really take anything off of the bottom. You can see how it brought all those layers up into around the face. And from the back, you can hopefully see the layers and how they hang there. Now say we've done this and then you decide that you want more of that framed look around the face. So right now these pieces start just below the chin and frame down. While that's nice, I think I'd like to bring them up maybe just a little bit higher. Why don't we go and say I bring them up about cheek level. So I'm going to wet it down a little bit. And this is just to add a little framing onto our long layers. Now the trick with this, I'm going to turn my head to the side so you can see. Work on the part line you usually use. I usually do a center part. If you do an offset part, but it's sometimes a center works center part. If you do an offset part all the time, cut on the offset part. I'm usually center, so we're going to stay center. Now what I want to do is only take the hair from the front of the ear forward. So there's my ear. So just reach in and find that little spot right where the ear touches the head. And then we're only going to take the hair right to that. So everything else we're going to tuck behind the hair, and this is what we're going to work with to frame. So now we've already wetted a little bit. Get my scissors back out. Now what I'm going to do is holding it straight down by my face. I'm not over directing or angling out. I'm going to start right here at cheek level where I want it, and as I go I'm just sort of working the scissor. As you can see, working that scissor, adding these little layers in. And when you get to the bottom, be real light because we don't want any chunks in there. Kind of feather it down, and that's what I took off. When I drop that, you can see that layering, that framing. So where it starts real low down on this side we have it starting all the way up at cheek level where I wanted it. So now we're going to do the other side. So again, I'm going to find that point right here, right where the ear touches the head. I'm going to go straight from that. This hair, it's not quite as thick on this side. Okay, so now we're going to take that, put a little bit of water. Here we go. This one's a little trickier because I'm right-handed, but it's the same rules. So I'm putting it right there, and if you want to make sure it's even, just take this piece that you already cut and use that as your guide piece. So this is the piece from the other side that I already cut. I'm going to take that right there as my guide piece. So let's go ahead and pull all that hair up. I can actually look at what I'm doing right here. And there's that piece, it just fell out. So hold it down. This one's a little trickier because I'm going to have to come from the top. My hand's coming down. I'm going to slither down the same way. Okay, let's see. Cute. Love it. That's exactly what I was looking for. So now I've got this framing. Let me kind of fluff it out there. So now I've got this framing that goes all the way down. Starts at the top here. You can see these pieces are lining up all the way down and frames to the bottom. And we put those long layers in. It's got an overall healthier, cleaner look. Now if I wanted those layers to be shorter, when I had that ponytail out front, I would have just cut more off of it when I had that front unicorn ponytail. But I like this length. I think it works well for the long layers. And I think that'll do it. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.